Okay, so we have a new month, new series. So all through the month of November, uh, we are going into AI. Now, typically we would have 4 weeks to cover a series, but given it's November and the final week of November happens to fall during Thanksgiving, of course, we're not going to be having a session then. So we have 3 sessions that we're going to get into. We are going to go straight into AI. We have had AI series in the past, so we're not going to get too into the entry level stuff. If at this point the buy-in into AI should already be there in some capacity, we're going to cover maybe 12 seconds of principles and going to go straight and more into the sophisticated stuff. So let's dig right in. Alrighty. So here's where we're going. Smarter YouTube strategy with AI. We're going to go into a few tools. In fact, we're actually going to just go into one. More of the tools, more of the fun stuff I'll wait for later on in the series. AI powered content creation. This one's actually we're gonna tap into this as soon as possible because there's a lot of different things that I want to integrate to give you the highest and best use of our 3 sessions. And then the how to make these videos that are a little bit more evergreen. That's where we're going, but we're gonna jump right into it. There's gonna be very, very little time for fluff here, so let's make the most use of it. So AI is used to complement your video making, not replace your video making, right? So at the end of the day, yes, we could do faceless videos. Yes, we could do AI powered videos and have everything created from end to end, from the idea, from the script, from the voiceover, from the video itself. Everything could be done via AI. That is not what we're going to be talking about today, nor any part of this series. At the end of the day, how we leverage AI or how we believe AI should be leveraged is more to complement your video making, not to replace it, right? So if we're looking for the replacement, that's going to be a challenge, especially as YouTube starts to get more and more strict on the AI that you can use. In many cases, it's just not going to work out. It's not going to get distribution. It's not going to get suggested. If you're creating just AI content that is identifiable as AI content by itself. So a lot of those channels either don't get monetized or don't get distribution, and that's a problem. And that's going to continue to become more and more of an issue. So again, we're using AI as a complement to our video making, just to give you a quick heads up. Now, I don't really necessarily care too much about what AI you're going to use. Today we're going to use ChatGPT because that's the most adopted one. But you can do very much the same principles on um on Gemini, on Claude, on any one of the AI platforms out there or the large language models, you can apply these same principles. But one of the things that you can start doing as you get more, as we get more and more into this AI race, start thinking with an AI first mentality, meaning see every problem that you see out there as an AI problem to solve, whether that's your eating habits, whether that's your exercise regimen, or whether that's how you structure your day. If you filter it, if you filter all of your issues through an AI problem to solve, you're going to start adopting it not just for video creation, which is what you're going to see today, but it's going to go beyond that. Now, one important distinction here is you're going to be able to get to about 80 to 90% completion here with your content creation, specifically on the video side. You're only as strong as your prompt on the AIs, so you want to get in early and often with your AI creation. But at the end of the day, what you're looking for is 80 to 90% completion. You're gonna do the final mile. You're gonna do the last 10 to 20%, and you're gonna see that in action today. We're actually gonna go through a custom GPT that you have access to right now. So let's go ahead and share it. Does everybody know what a custom GPT is? Anybody not know? Anybody not know? Or save GPT, what some people
I don't
uh
really know anything about ChatGPT other than asking it random questions.
that's a great start. That's a great start. So in the chat, what I did is I dropped the Notion notes that you're seeing on the screen right now. Let me make sure, let me know if you can't access this. It should allow you immediately into this. What's going to be important for you to get right is going to be two main things. One is so you can follow along and see how we're going to create a video pretty easily. A high performing video is a better way of saying that. This is a chat GPT that we're going to use. But also, this is how what's going to be important for you to replicate what we're about to do. So before I go through and click on this, well, I guess I just clicked on it. Um, this is going to be our it's going to be our GPT that we're going to be using, and all we're going to need to do to get going, to go from idea, from concept, and all that fun stuff to the actual scripted out video. And that's actually where we're going to stop. We're going to stop at right before we get to the recording phase. Although we could do AI and get the recording part, we're not, again, we're not going to go full all out there, but that's where we're going to stop at the recording phase. All we're going to need to do is press create video. But before I do that, I want to show you how it's prepped, how it's primed, because that's going to be important for what we're doing. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. Now, if you've been here before, if you've been to our masterminds, we've already talked about extensively the workflow to create videos. So we're not going to really relitigate that today. I just bring this up here, the concept of batching. I'll bring this up for 2 seconds to illustrate the following point. So when we're creating video for YouTube, we're not creating one video from beginning to end and then starting over with another one. Actually, Pafu was mentioning that she was going into batch mode and creating a good amount of content at once. That is the exact same thing here. We're making multiple videos at once and we're tackling multiple videos in phases, meaning we're brainstorming multiple videos at once. We're optimizing multiple videos at once. We're scripting multiple videos at once. We're recording multiple videos at once. We're editing multiple videos at once and we're distributing them at once. So if you brainstorm 3 ideas, you're going to take all those 3 ideas to your optimized phase where if you remember we tackle here what we tackle here is traffic, is there demand, what our thumbnail needs to look like, our title, and 30 seconds. I know I'm going super fast, but remember you have access to your library. You have access to a library where we talk extensively about all the other points. I just want to get to the GPT mode as soon as possible. So to get to the library, if you're already in our notification squad, then you already have access to this library. If not, and this is your first time here or aren't quite sure, you're going to want to go to thecreatoragent.com/mastermind and get the link that way. All right. So I know I'm opening 30 different tabs. We'll eventually get to this chat GPT, but I want to at least prep where we're going. So the chat GPT that we are going to go through that you can easily just click and save into your own GPT or copy and paste, not, or you have to copy and paste this to make it yours. And I'll show you the things that we're going to be adjusting along the way. But first I want to give you the tutorial here. These are the 3 things that we're answering for today with our AI, with our chat GPT. These are the only 3 things that we're going to go into. So recording, we could easily throw it onto a InVideo.ai and it go and create a video that's going to work for us. We're not going to, but we could in theory do that. Editing, we could use also InVideo.ai and have it do some of the editing, have Opus do some of the short form here. There's different things, different ways for us to introduce additional AI tools into our workflow, but that's gonna be more session 2, session 3. For now, let's just keep it pretty simple and dive right into it. All right, so this is a GPT that you're gonna be able to replicate in your GPT or in your chat GPT. So all we have to do to kick things off is we're going to type in create video. Now let me share with you what's going on in the background. Well, actually, let me share with you what's happened here. Whenever we create video, at least whenever we're using this prompt, I ask it to give me three different suggestions on videos that I can make. Now we have more sophisticated ones, but I want to just give you the bare bones one that every single one of you can implement right now. This GPT is designed to take you wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you are just getting into video, just getting into YouTube, or is this is your 3,000th video, 3,000th video, and it's going to give you three video suggestions to make. Now, there is some priming required. There is a little bit of coaching on the back end. So if you want to think of it, this is a stretch, but if you want to think of it as the code that you're going to use in the back end, that's what you're going to see in the notes section. So the copy and paste, you're going to need to modify it. Um, I think I should have, let me just break things up so you have it here. Yeah. You're going to need to modify, let me show you. This is the only line of code. Again, that's a stretch. This is not code by any stretch of the imaginations. But the only thing that you're going to need to modify is this. This is the only thing that is going to be more personalized to you. So if you're in the Tampa market, if you're in the Sacramento market, if you're in the Ohio market, if you're in the whatever market, this is what you're going to be, this is where you're going to be updating. This is what you're going to be updating. And then your focus. So I know we have lenders in the house. So this is where you would introduce the lending part of your business and then who you're speaking to. So essentially what you're doing is what you're interjecting here is what you do, where you do it, and who you work with, basically. So here I make content for first-time homebuyers that need education, motivation, and confidence to buy. So my niche, my focus is new construction, and I happen to do that in the Fort Worth, Texas market. So as an example with Robert, you're in the Houston market, you do focus on new construction, and then you can decide if you want to work more with first-time home buyers, if you want to work with investors, if you want to work with whoever your avatar happens to be. The rest is going to be the same. Is everybody on the same page so far? Is everybody can at least, do you have access to the Notion page, and also were you able to click on this to see it in action? All right, so don't be shy. I know I'm going very quickly, opening a lot of doors and closing them quickly. So, if you have questions, let me know. So, when you create the prompt or when you type in the prompt that initiates everything, create video, what I've asked it to do, it's already taken my request here, and I'll show you how to do this on the back end. It's already taken my request here, and it's giving me the what I'm looking for. The brainstormed ideas, the ideas that I want to start recording on. So I'll show you how to get to this screen here in a couple of minutes, but this is the back engine that makes everything go. So we'll go through the first example, and then we're gonna back our way into it. So everybody, if you have not done a Save GPT or a chat something like that, then a custom GPT, then no worries. I'll show you how to get here. So what I've asked it to do initially is, hey, I just need ideas. First, give me ideas based off of who I'm trying to target, and also very important, it being local and viewers that actually have an intention to buy. So don't give me topics that are going to be about gardening or renovations renovations after you move into a house. Well, at that point, you've already bought the house. I don't necessarily care too much about your views right now. I care more about um, videos that talk about questions to ask your next real estate agent. Well, people that are watching that type of video have more of a incentive or have more of a motivation to reach out to me once they watch that video. There's higher intent views. But anyway, let's look at the three options that it gave us based off of the prompts that were originally suggested here. So, why Fort Worth new homes are selling fast and what buyers don't realize. That one's fine. That one's fair. And then it gives you a little bit of substance on why it's suggesting that. Avoid these three mistakes when buying a new build in Fort Worth. This is very educational. This is very much in line with what I asked it to do. I'll show you where it's completing the prompts here. Please, I can't highlight here. Can Oh yeah, I can. Please give me three topics to choose from. The topic should be focused, should be speaking the first time home buying avatar. Um, okay, so it's deploying this prompt here. I asked it to give me three topics, and these topics should be speaking to my avatar that I just gave it. And I also want it to be more educational and also want to make it more as giving my first time home buyers confidence to buy. Once you give me the three video topics, I'll select the one I want to record. All right, so right now, just getting started with the ideation phase. Remember where we're at. The ideation phase right now is brainstorming. All right, so now let's keep it going. What topic would you like to record? Option one, two, or three. Once you choose, I'll go on to do the next prompt, the next thing. So there's breakpoints here that I've already instructed it to include here. So I'm gonna say I'll say option two. Avoid these three mistakes when buying a new build in Fort Worth. Perfect choice. And then it goes into the next prompt. Now, what is the next prompt? Well, now we're getting into the optimize phase. What do we need to, the traffic? This is the only thing that I can't really answer for right now. This is the demand is something that it doesn't have access to the Google search. It doesn't have access to the Google Trends or things like that. This is where more of your intuition and more of you understanding your viewer is going to come into play. So there's not necessarily a traffic play, meaning the a viral idea type of a generator. That's not the goal here. Is what you're looking for are people that have high intent to buy. So that's what it's spitting out. So the traffic part, it's not going to really address directly, but it is going to go straight into the thumbnail ideation and then the title and then the first 30 seconds, essentially your hook. So what we've primed on the back end is from that video topic I select, you will then give me three different thumbnail creation directions. You will give me three different creative, sorry, thumbnail creatives. Um, do you think will make a good thumbnail? And then based off of that, you're also going to give me the suggestion of what you think should be on the thumbnail, the expression, and then also a either a prop or a background or something that will make the thumbnail a bit more clickable, if you will. So with the thumbnail, what I asked it to do is essentially honor the rule of three here with thumbnails. So when we create thumbnails, we focus on three main things. One is the text on the screen, on the thumbnail. What do we want the thumbnail to say? Two, the facial expression. So when we upload our headshots, we that's going to be a third of our thumbnail. And then the third element of our thumbnail is either a prop like a house or a background. If, as an example, if we're talking about avoid these areas in Dallas Fort Worth, well, the prop or the background or that third element would in many cases be a map where we have huge X's. That would be the third element that we would include here. So when we're looking at the thumbnail creatives that is giving the directions that is giving me, it's giving me concept one, concept two, concept three, and each one of the concepts gives me suggestion on the text to use, the headshot, and what type of expression to have, and then also what to put as the background or that third element. So here it's saying shocked mistake. I don't like that at all. Money gone. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the text that it's suggesting. Sorry. Don't do this. All right, so remember the video that we're making right now. We're making the avoid these three mistakes when buying a new build. So if it's suggesting that we put don't do this as a text, I'm not mad at that. Lost X amount buying new. That one's fair. I don't necessarily like it as much, but that one's fair. Wait before you sign. That one's fair. I don't necessarily like it as much. I like this the most. And one thing that you're going to see in the prompt is that the title and the thumbnail, the words that are on the thumbnail, cannot match. So that is a rule that we have. We don't want what's on the thumbnail itself, the phrase that we have on the thumbnail. We do not want the same words that we have on the thumbnail that we have on the title. That's another little caveat here that we've put into this into this GPT. So it's given me three distinct directions that I can take my thumbnail. Now we're here. It goes further. So the next thing that's going to give us is three title suggestions. So here again, what it has here cannot match what's in the title. That's what we wrote into it. So don't do this. That's something that should not be in any one of these. That is one of the rules that we put in place with this GPT. So with titles, here's how we actually title within Creator Agents. Some of you might know this already. But we have curiosity based titles where we don't give away the ending. And we have SEO based titling where we're going based off of more of the search engine. Where if somebody is typing, what is the option period in Texas? Well, that's what an SEO rich title would be. A curiosity based title, even if we're going to still talking about the option period, a curiosity based title would have nothing to do with or say nothing in relation to the option period. Don't avoid this during your next home purchase would be an example of a curiosity based title if we were talking about an option period. So what it's giving us here is again two SEO rich titles and then one curiosity based title. Remember that we're covering this video. Avoid these three mistakes when buying a new build. So what it's suggesting here is three costly mistakes to avoid when buying new construction in Fort Worth, Texas. So buying new construction home in Fort Worth. That's the SEO that it's looking for. Buying a new build in Fort Worth. It's also the SEO that we're looking for. And then curiosity based title is no one tells you this about buying new homes. Has nothing to, it doesn't give you it doesn't give you any hint about what that thing is in the or even if there are mistakes that are going to be shared in the video itself. It just says, hey, just no one's telling you this, right? So it could be a hack, it could be a mistake, it could be a tip, right? Any questions on this? I know I'm going super quick, but I think we can handle it. All right. So we have another stopping point here. We pause here. Which thumbnail concept and title do you want to go with? What you don't want to happen as you start using this in your world, what you don't want to happen is for you to carry two of these things together. Certainly have two titles in mind. That's not what you want to happen. You want to commit to you want to commit to a concept. There's split testing. Don't mishear me. There will be split testing, but commit to at least a concept that you want to work from a thumbnail perspective and also from a title perspective. That way you have clarity when you're making your video. So, as an example, I like this one, the shocked mistake. So, don't do this. I like that. Shocked face, eyes wide open, hand to face. Oh no. Background, new construction home behind you with a subtle red X over it or a builder contract faintly visible. I like that a lot. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with concept one for my thumbnail, and I'm going to go, I guess just I'm going to go with number one as well. Three costly mistakes to avoid with buying new construction in Fort Worth. So I'm going to go with one and one. These are the concepts that I'm going to go with. Now, once you choose one of each, I'll write your intro, your next 30 seconds, or your first 30 seconds, using the following format. So this is a following format that we've had in the past. So you already know how to write intros. We talked about video hooks in the past, your first 30 seconds. If you want to go to May 29th, we have our notes here and we have the video recording on having done that. So what we're going to do is thumbnail. We're going to go one and, well, just go thumbnail, concept one, and title, concept one as well. All right. So now it's giving us the concept that we want for our thumbnail. Now it's giving us the title that we want for our video. And now what it's doing is creating the first 30 seconds. And then it has the next pause. We don't want it to go off into creating all of these scripts yet. We want to get the first 30 seconds down. Now, what we introduced into the logic here as well is the main thing here is that we need to be powerful and it needs to keep at least 70% of the viewership within the first 30 seconds. So that's the metric that we're trying to hit. So here, it's giving us the hook. Most first-time buyers don't realize that one small mistake when buying a new construction home can cost them thousands. And since Fort Worth's new build market is booming, knowing how to avoid these mistakes can literally save you money and stress. So the concept, the structure that it's using is one that we've talked about in the past. So I'll quickly go over it. We have our hook, essentially our opening line, the strong statement that we want to start our video with, why this video matters. So we're validating the click, why they're here, and also a reason for them to stay. We're validating because at this point, remember, we created the video, we put a thumbnail on it. They saw the video, they saw the thumbnail, they read the title, and now they're in the first 30 seconds of our video. And in many cases, they're seeing us for the first time. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to capture their attention. We're trying to validate them being here. Hey, why this video actually matters. Yes, you clicked on it. You're in the right place. Please stick here with us. What we're going to cover in this video. So essentially, we're setting the agenda and we're encouraging them to stay to increase our retention. So remember, we've already covered this in the past. So just go to the first 30 seconds. And you're going to see that structure in the session notes. So we go into hook, reinforcement, agenda, tease, content. So the entire structure has already been done. That's already baked into the cake here. So it's already at play. So we're sharing why this video matters, what is going to be covered in this video. So giving them a little bit of the table of contents and make sure that you stick to the end. So we increase our watch retention. Questions, comments, concerns, anything before we keep going? Is this making sense? Is there any reservations on this so far?
As you guys
I
are
think it's awesome.
receiving, I'm kind of, oh, sorry.
No, no.
Good.
So since I'm new here, as you guys are receiving my videos and stuff, if you see like maybe it's not aligning, would you guys give that input or you just edit them?
So what Pafua is referencing is so she is part of Creator Agents. What we do is we do provide you feedback on the videos that are coming back. So we're although we do edit, that's not necessarily the primary driver of what we do. Believe it or not, it's actually we're not necessarily ranked or graded based off of how well our edits are done. It's the results that our agents are having. So that's where we have sessions like this, and we every first 3 or 4 weeks, we talk about topic selection, which is about 80% of what we what we as agents, creator agents, we're going to see our success. So that's the long way of saying that yes, we do provide feedback whenever as we continue delivering videos. So if we see a video that maybe doesn't necessarily align with your strategy that we initially set out, because every single creator agent has their strategy session with myself. And if we see a video that, hey, if you told me that you wanted to create videos for first time home buyers and now you're making a video on how to sell your $6 million property, that doesn't align. Does that make sense? Manny, you also unmuted. What was on your mind?
Oh, no, no, we're just telling you that, that was really good with what you're sharing. I mean, help a lot to kind of, fix a little bit more the intro, the hooks and all that, just to keep it flowing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So would you
Yeah.
like me?
Oh,
Good.
sorry.
Go ahead, Robert.
I have a question. Where in this sequence would you put the call to action or lead magnet?
Funny that you ask. Let's continue. No, so it's later on. It's later on.
Okay. All right.
So we have an engagement call to action, which an engagement call to action, as a recap for everybody, is either asking for a like, asking for a comment, asking for a subscribe, or asking for a share. That's an engagement call to action. Now you don't want to do all of them at once. That is not going to work. That's a good way for you to get nothing. So be very specific with your request. So if you want that comment, which I would recommend a lot of everybody ask for that engagement, go ahead and ask for that comment. If you're going to ask for the share, ask for the share. If you're going to ask for the like, ask for the like. But don't ask, hey, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and then tell your grandmother. No one's going to do that. So we have an engagement call to action, and then we have a retention call to action at the end. And I believe we have a lead magnet. It's going to depend on the video, but to be honest, it's going to depend on the video because not all lead magnets are going to work, or calls to actions to the lead magnet. So, but you'll see it in action right now. Anybody else have some questions? All right. So would you like me to tweak the tone, for example, make it more storytelling, energetic, or educational? Once we lock that in, we'll move on to your short self intro and then outline the main content points before scripting them. So it's guiding you along, right? So the next thing that it's telling us is before I give you the entire script, we need to be in agreement with what it is that these three mistakes happen to be, right? Because it'll give you three. You might not agree with what those mistakes are. So I'm ready. Great job. All right. Oh, I guess I lie to you. The self intro. I need to parse that out real quick. I don't think about these things ahead of time. My apologies. Once we're in agreement for the intro, here we go. You're going to want to change this as well. So, for the rest of the video, add a small introduction of myself. If we are just meeting, my name is Jaime Sendez. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share real estate information you won't find anywhere else. That's actually my tagline. So, now if we're just meeting, my name is Jaime Sendez. Welcome to the DFW Homeowner, where you'll find real estate information that no one else is sharing with you. A version of that. So you're going to want to change that to whatever it happens to be for you. So that's what you're reading here. If we're just meeting, my name is Jaime Sendez. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share real estate info you won't find anywhere else. So this is one of the things that you will want to change as well. So we're looking at this. And then let me make sure I'm not overlooking something important here. I think we're good. I think at some point I put first as well. Okay, no, I think I covered it. Okay. All right, so just a brief intro. Notice that I'm not going beyond that. Just I'm not asking for the like. I'm not asking for like, comment, share, subscribe, or anything like that. If that is something that you have to do, you feel it in your bones that you need to do it at this time, go ahead and add it. But personally, I don't teach on that, nor do I recommend that right there. What we need to come into agreement with is the main points, right? So here, let's give me 3 to 5 points to look at, right? So I recommend this video. So 3 costly mistakes to avoid when buying new construction. 1, not bringing an agent to the builder's office. 2, skipping the inspection or a new for a new home. 3, trusting the builder's lender without shopping around. 4, not understanding the upgrade trap. So it's optional, as you see. 5, ignoring future resale factors. So I'm going to ask the expert in the room, Robert, what are the 3 mistakes that buyers are making when they buy new?
Oh my goodness. So I'm fixing to shoot a video on this one because there's really one big one that stands out, and everybody gets it wrong. If they're buying their first home in Texas, whether they're moving here, their first time buyer, whatever it is the correlation between the price of the home and the monthly payment. Over 95% of people have a misunderstanding or a wrong idea of what their monthly payment for example, they start searching for homes $450,000 wanting to have a $2,000 monthly payment, right? And that's the big one, and that's probably going to be the next video I put out. Yeah, because they'll waste hundreds of hours searching through homes that they'll never buy because they got the wrong idea on what their monthly payment would be.
Okay, so not understanding monthly payment in correlation to price. Really good
Yes.
one. Do we any one of these, since we have to kind of stick to this topic here, so can
Oh,
you
the three
do more, or do either of these work, or do you want to go to on your personal? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people don't think they need an inspection on a new home. So that for sure, that's a good one. Uh, yeah, oh yeah, not contacting a realtor or finding the experienced realtor before you even walk into a model home.
Can I just say something? I can't say I missed this commission, but technically, so no, it's gonna be too long of a story. Never mind. Never mind. So that's a great point, but just know it has something to do with this, and that happened to me yesterday. That's a really good point. To builder's office. All right, so great job. Let's go with these points, please. Great job, Robert. I think this can be your video, actually.
Right? Yeah, it'll show up in your portal here in a few days.
There you go. All right, so these 3 points hit every emotional and practical trigger first time home buyer. So it brings back your avatar, right? So at some point, if you do this enough, you're gonna see some if you start suggesting something that's a little bit off the reservation, it'll bring you back. Like, hey, are you sure, Robert, that this is targeting your first time buyers? But that's if we would have gone back and like started relitigating the title. We already established what title we're going to use. What we needed to do is just come to agreement on what we're going to put, what 3 mistakes we were going to make. But it will bring you back, realign you if you're just like start going off the reservation there. All right, so let's roll with your main content script. All right, so after your intro, your short self, so it's giving you the main content right now. So it's not even, it'll eventually bring everything together, but right now it's just like, all right, let's just make sure that we're in alignment with what you want to say. Not understanding the monthly payment. You'd be surprised how many first-time buyers fall in love with the home based on price, not payment. Now, because it's a little bit specific, I'm just going to assume that this was right. If this was not right and does not have the intent that we originally wanted, we could isolate that and say, hey, for point number 1, I didn't mean, I meant more like, and then you give the example that you just gave, Robert, of that alignment of price and monthly payment. And then it has what would the skipping the inspection part and then not bringing an agent to the builder's office. So again, it's already assumed the intro. It's already assumed the little quick self promo. Now it's gonna do the payoff. Remember what we fed it before. We asked it. We asked it to give us a reason to stay. So essentially, we needed it to give us a payoff, and it did. And stick around to the end because I'll share a simple strategy that I use with my own clients that can protect you before you even step foot in a model home. So I'm curious to see what that is. Let's see what that payoff would be. All right, so here's the wrap up before payoff. So if you're thinking about buying a new construction home in Fort Worth, avoid these 3 mistakes. So let's just do a little summary. Sometimes it does it, full disclosure. Sometimes it does it. Sometimes it doesn't. What I have found is that oftentimes this does kind of do does the wrap up, does the essentially not regurgitating, but it yeah, it gives you a summary more with listicle videos. So basically, if you're talking the 3, 4, 5, 10 things to think about before buying, it'll do kind of like a little series. And that's just more of a stylistic thing if you want to include that in your video or not. All right. So, and since you stayed at the end, here's a strategy I mentioned earlier. Before you ever step foot into a model home, get pre-approved with your own lender first. Now, for me, that's a good payoff. I mean, I don't necessarily, yeah, that's good. It's not the greatest, I would say, but yeah, that's fair. You can get away with making that the payoff and making that the end. It gives you real numbers to shop confidently, and clients end up with better deals. So, all right, I call that good. I wouldn't call that great. I'd call that a good payoff. Maybe there's a way to kind of beef it up, right? So maybe shop around with promotionals or subscribe to my newsletter. I know, Robert, you have that newsletter getting going with the top deals in your market. That would be a really good plug at that point. So the outro, this is the retention outro that I mentioned earlier. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, check out my next video where I break down the best new construction neighborhoods in Fort Worth for first-time buyers. You don't want to miss it. Now, would you like for me to format this into a YouTube script with pacing notes, on-screen text ideas, and pauses for emphasis? Or keep it as this clean spoken delivery format for teleprompter reading? Keep it clean for teleprompter. And there you go. Isn't that cool? Folks, I had 3 content writers. 3. Now I have 0. So, it's a new world. It's a new world. Questions, comments, concerns. I will show y'all how to go over here and get get your get this put into your GPTs, but I want to make sure that you're comfortable of what we just did.
Hey, have a quick question. When you put it on the custom chat GPT, is gonna, I mean, if you're gonna do like another town, how do you go in? Can you go inside and edit it, or I mean, did that work like that? I never done it before. I just upload, a couple of things here and there, or if not, I just copy and paste.
You can, but it'll go. You want to get clarity on what you want your GPT to do first. So here's what that means. So if you just go to chatgpt.com/GPTS and go to my GPTs, create a GPT. This will give you the same screen that we've been working from here. Now, to answer your question, Manny, it'll depend once you copy and paste this. So just basically copy and paste. Let me back up so everyone can see that. Just copy and paste the prompt here. Just copy and paste this. Copy, paste this into the instructions. Add a description so you remember what this is. Name the GPT, and the conversation starters basically type in create video. That's the prompt that you'll see. So that'll go there. Again, name your GPT, put whatever description you want. But to your point, this part right here that we agreed needs to change. This is where you're telling it more about your market. So to your point though, I wanted to talk about Fort Worth. You might need to say my real estate business is South Florida. So you're not specifically, I think it is South Florida, right? Or no?
Yeah, Southwest.
Southwest Florida. So there you could get more specific on the city once you're already going, but when you preload it, don't preload it with a specific city, preload it with the area that you are working. I still see some reservation. Talk to me, Manny.
No, no, yeah, I'm over here just thinking, just put it over there. Let's see, I work in Southwest Florida, blah, 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 blah. And then when I'm gonna go over there and create the video, then I could just say, hey, I wanted to create this based on this city.
Let's work on this together because I know some of us are a few of us are probably going to have the same question. Southwest Florida. All right, so I work the Southwest Florida real estate markets and market and focus on. Are you still a pool guy or no?
Yeah, yeah, pool homes, new construction, land, whatever it comes.
Well, we gotta get more specific, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh yeah, let's do the pool homes. Yeah.
pool homes. Okay. I create content for who do you create content for?
Retirees.
Retirees that want to. What are they trying to
Relocate to, retire, actually relocating over here, want to have a pool home in that lifestyle.
into the south that want to relocate into the Southwest Florida market. They value, and this is in your avatar. Previously, you saw me put like motivation on this stuff.
Yeah.
So with your individuals, they may value repetition. They may value visuals. They may value in-depth information about the area because they don't know about it. Embed as much as you can here to give it some additional prompts about your business and who you want to ultimately target. And you're going to start noticing, like, even if you said something like, we didn't do this on this one, but like if you would have said something to the effect of make sure, so they value repetition. As an example, many of you know who Franco is, and he's often on these calls. So he's very strategic with when he delivers messages, he repeats himself over and over and over again because that's what his avatar calls for. So in this particular regard, had we prompted the GPT to be repetitive, you would see it come over and over again with the same verbiage. So once you name your GPT, you can name it whatever you want. This one I just call it the CA, stands for Creator Agents, best video content strategist in real estate. And then the description, it's going to create the topic, the thumbnail, title, and intro script. So basically, it's doing this. I'm sorry, this. And then when you press say update or save for the first time, you're going to be off to the races. You'll be able to use it in your own. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, so I want to make sure that everybody, Jeffrey's helping you out from the Southwest Florida perspective, Manny. Remember, you have and you will have your library. If you don't have the library already, I'll drop it in the chat as well. This will be up here in about 15 minutes once it processes. If you want to get access to the recording, plus you'll also get the notes. So if you missed the GPT for whatever reason, or the copy and paste, that this is the most important thing of our session, getting this copied and pasted. And remember that green thing that I highlighted here, replace with your business and replace with your intro here, and the rest gets done for you. Alrighty. Well, that's all we had for today. Unless we have any questions, comments, concerns, we can wrap it up. Cool, cool, cool. Are you sharing your instructions? Yes. Yeah. Once you go into the library there, once you go into library, I just put this into the chat, Robert. If you go into the session notes, here in about 15 minutes, you'll see today's session and the session notes. So just click on the session notes and it'll take you straight to this one. So you just copy and paste it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's huge. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure. What was that? Oh, okay, I thought I heard something. All right, crew. Well, I appreciate you. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Thursday at Topium Central. Bye.
Thank you.